the 1920s, the women's hat started to take on more of a feminine image again, and Hollywood celebrities such as Greta Garbo and Humphrey Bogart aided the hat's popularity by sporting many elegant headpieces. Unfortunately, by the late 1950s, the demand for hats in fashion slowly started to decline, and by the 1960s, it was considered too feminine by some. According to Sarah Bryan Miller of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, some people believe that John F. Kennedy, with his hatless appearance and dashing good looks, served as a catalyst in the decline in the popularity of the hat. Even though hats are not considered to be a major fashion accessory by today's standards, I hope you'll come to appreciate the history and many uses of the hat. Now when I look at my grandma's hats, which I have proudly displayed in my room, I don't think twice about placing one on my head and imagining the secret story behind the hat.
The princess kissed the frog. The frog turned into a prince, and they lived happily ever after. Well, let's just say they lived happily for a long time. Okay, so they weren't happy. In fact, they were miserable. The Frog Prince continued by John Sazika and Steve Johnson. Stop sticking your tongue out like that! How come you never want to go down to the pond anymore? The prince and the princess were so unhappy. They didn't know what to do. I would prefer that you not hop around on the furniture. And it might be nice if you got out of the castle once in a while to slay a dragon or whatever. The prince didn't feel like going out and slaying anything. He just felt like running away. But then he reread his book. And it said, right there at the end of the story, they lived happily ever after. The end. So he stayed in the castle and drove the princess crazy. Then one day, the princess threw a huge fit. First you keep me awake all night with your horrible croaking snore. I can't believe I actually kissed your slimy frog lips. Sometimes I think we would both be better off if you were still a frog. That's when the idea hit him. Still a frog? Yes, that's it. And he ran off into the forest, looking for a witch who could turn him back into a frog. The prince hadn't gone far when he ran just into the person he was looking for. Miss Witch, excuse me, Miss Witch. I wonder if you could help me.
Say, you're not looking for a princess to kiss, are you?
Oh, no, I've already been kissed. I'm the Frog Prince. Actually, I was hoping you could turn me back into a frog.
Are you sure you're not looking for a beautiful sleeping princess to kiss and wake up?
No, I'm the Frog Prince.
That's funny. You don't look like a frog. Well, no matter. If you're a prince, you're a prince. And I'll have to cast a nasty spell on you. I can't have any princes waking up Sleeping Beauty before the 100 years are up.
The prince didn't stick around to see which nasty spell the witch had in mind. He ran deeper into the forest until he came to a tiny cottage where he saw another lady who might help him. Miss Witch, excuse me, Miss Witch. I wonder if you could help me. I'm a prince and... what did you say, my dear prince? No, I mean yes. I mean no. I'm not the prince looking for Sleeping Beauty. But yes, I'm the Frog Prince, and I'm looking for a member of your profession who can turn me back into a frog so I can live happily ever after. Frog Prince, you say? That's funny. I thought frogs were little green guys with webbed feet. Well, no matter. If you're a prince, you're a prince. And I can't have any princes rescuing Snow White. Here, eat the rest of this apple. The prince, who knew his fairy tales and knew a poisoned apple when he saw one, didn't even stay to say, no thank you. He turned and ran deeper into the forest. Soon he came to a strange-looking house with a witch outside. Miss Witch, excuse me, Miss Witch. I wonder if you could help me. I'm the frog.
If you're a frog, I'm the King of France.
No, I'm not a don't mind me asking, Miss Witch, but do you happen to know any children by the names of Hansel and Gretel?
Why, yes, Prince darling, I do. I'm expecting them for dinner.
The prince, who, as we said before, knew his fairy tales, ran as fast as he could deeper into the forest. Soon, he was completely lost. He saw someone standing next to a tree. The prince walked up to her, hoping she wasn't a witch, for he had had quite his fill of witches. Madam, I'm the Frog Prince. Could you help me? Gosh, do you need it? You are the worst-looking frog I've ever seen. I'm not a frog. I'm the Frog Prince, and I need someone to turn me back into a frog so I can live happily ever after. Well, I'm on my way to see a girl in the village about going to a ball, but I suppose I could give it a try. I've never done frogs before, you know. And with that, the fairy godmother waved her magic wand and turned the prince into a beautiful carriage. The prince couldn't believe his rotten luck. The sun went down, the forest got spookier, and the prince became more and more frightened. Oh, what an idiot I've been! I could be staying at home with the princess, living happily ever after, but instead I'm stuck here in the middle of this stupid forest, turned into a stupid carriage. Now I'll probably just rot and fall apart and live unhappily ever after. The prince thought these thoughts, terrible kinds of thoughts, and a few worse, too awful to tell, until far away in the village the clock struck midnight. The carriage instantly turned back into his former prince self, and he ran by the light of the moon until he was safe inside his own castle.
Where have you been? I've been worried sick. You're 7 hours late, your dinner is cold, and your clothes are a mess.
The prince looked at the princess, who had believed him when no one else in the world had. The princess who actually kissed his slimy frog lips. The princess who loved him. The prince kissed the princess, and they both turned into frogs, and they hopped off happily ever after. The end.
It was a terrible time. Ordinary lives just disappear, poof, like smoke. And you were left with no rules to go by anymore. You had to make up your own. You see, some of the things you do in times like that, they're dreadful. But you do them anyway. You do them because they're better than the alternatives. For Hungarian-born Mara O'Malley, World War II meant serving the needs of the SS officers as a whole. The resulting pregnancy forces her to make a difficult choice. The Sunflower Forest by Tori Harrison. I was 17 when Klaus was born. And I was a very stupid girl for 17. I knew nothing about the world. Nothing at all. When I first arrived at the hostel, they put me in a room and made me a dress. I was ashamed. So ashamed to have to do that. Here I was, naked in front of a strange man. And when he came to my room that first night, I didn't know what he wanted. I didn't even know who he was. I'd never seen him before. He was older, perhaps 25 or so. He said, "Lie down." And so I did. But I wouldn't take off my night dress. "What's the matter with you? Take off your gown." I wouldn't do it, and I told him so. And he grabbed my night dress at the shoulder and pulled at it. I was angry with him then because he pulled it so hard that it ripped. "You think these grow on trees? These gowns?" But he grabbed hold of me and pushed me back onto the bed and got on top of me. And then I was too scared to think of the night dress anymore. He still had his uniform on him. He just lay on top of me. It was very heavy. "What's your name?" "Mara." "You're Slav, aren't you?" "I'm from Hungary." Then he kissed me on the lips, like no one had ever kissed me before. And when he tried to do it again, I bit him. No one does that to me. "You're full of fire, my little Hungarian whore." "I am no whore." Well, I tell you, I started to cry. I was so full of shame and humiliation and fear. I just broke into tears. One time I went and ran away from there, but they found me. And after that, they locked my door. During the day, I didn't mind much. They brought me newspapers and books, and I had my means in there, in my little room. But at night, I could hear them coming. I would lie in bed and listen to the sounds of them barking in the halls, and I could tell. Always, I could tell if they were just barking or if they were coming to my room. I became pregnant. It was much better. And I thought that I would be going home. Some of the girls, you see, were allowed home as soon as they were pregnant. They just came back for the delivery. I asked Big Boots, and he said, yeah, I could go home when the baby had come. I could feel the baby. It was a wonderful feeling. Him and them moving, and I would lie on the bed and dream of him and think, Mara, you'll be free. This time next year, you'll be home having poppy plant flowers. This baby is going to be your savior. Then he was home, and I named him Klaus. It was so stupid. It hurts to remember the kind of stupidity. You see, I believed them. Even after the baby was born, and they thought he was so beautiful. He was not black-haired like some of the babies. He was blonde from the beginning. See, I believed them. I thought that I was a very crafty girl to get through all that, and I thought the baby, I thought they just took him. I was 20 days old, and I swore I'd get him back. He was my flesh, and I'd find him. But they laughed at me. Mara, a little Hungarian whore. She makes such a fuss. Then it started all over again, and I said I wasn't going to let the men come in. And I pushed the wardrobe in front of the door. You can't do this to me! I'm human! I just wasn't going to stand for it, now that I understood. I wasn't going to let the men treat me like that. But him, with the big boots, he came with a dog. You're nothing but a bitch to us, and this will show you that I'm right. It was the same, except that I no longer got privileges. By December, I was pregnant. There are decisions one must make. When other choices are evil ones, but still, one must decide. I didn't make one. I was only 18. Just a girl. Not such a stupid girl anymore, but still, just a girl. And that was a real decision. All the other decisions I had ever made had been nothing in comparison to that one. The baby came early. And when they brought him to me in the afternoon, that afternoon, they gave him to me and I held him. He turned so hungry for milk. And he hadn't been fed since the morning, and he roared against me, like babies. And so very, very gently, I just pressed his head against my breast, and I smothered him. The choice, you see, had been on mine.
I can't believe this is real.
Me either. But when my sister gave it to me, she told me to tell no one except for my best friend. So you can't tell anyone else, you understand?
I promise.
I can't believe there's actually a book that tells girls everything they need to know about guys.
Girl, just look at the cover. It's a boy book.